everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria Isorda, and today I'm going to continue talking about my infertility, IVF plus an egg donor. So we did our research and we already had 3 different consultations, and moving forward with that, we actually decided to go to a private doctor, and he was very well known, and he was referred by a customer of mine when I worked in the city in San Francisco. And I made an appointment, and my husband and I went to go see him. He was surprised that we knew a lot, because one, we did our research and we already had a lot of answers of the questions that we wanted to ask, but also questions that made me think of things to ask, and how the process works, how long it's gonna take. So I was anxious. I was already 49. I'm not 49, 39, excuse me, 39, hello. 39, and I was just like, I need to get pregnant by a certain age, because I didn't know when was the cutoff age. So doing so, we had to take a lot of blood work, and the doctor had to prescribe us some progesterone and estrogen shots for me to have, plus also have me in the right regimen for the thyroid medicine. Plus I was low on my vitamin D, and also just wanted to make sure that I was taking prenatals before we got pregnant, because that would have helped us along the way to get pregnant. Doing so, we went through the whole process. Took us almost 3 months from the beginning to end, 3 months. And the doctor, we had to actually let the doctor know when we started our period, or when I started my period, the first day, because I needed to come in, and actually they had to, once you start your period the first day, the next day you have to come in. They have to do an ultrasound in your uterus to see how your walls are doing, how your whole ooh la la is doing down there, making sure everything looks good. Also, he wanted to make sure I was in the right medication, and making sure that I was doing it right. And doing so, it took us, I think it took my husband and I almost 2 months to actually choose the egg donor. They had a database that they had, their personal one, that they collected through egg donors. The only thing that you could see from the egg donor is their first name, their history, their ancestry, their health history, their siblings, talking about their everything and why they decided to become the egg donor. Of course, we would have to pay them to donate their eggs. Going through the whole process, they had to go through interviews, and they had to see a psychologist, because they wanted to make sure the right person for their database to be there for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. And also, the only ages that they actually agreed to actually get was from the age of 21 to 28 is the cutoff. And it took us, I think, about a month and a half, almost 2 months, to actually decide to choose 3 gals. From the 3 gals, my husband and I chose the same 3 gals. But going from the beginning of choosing or reading the first profile that I actually liked, I couldn't finish their profile, because I was crying so much, because it was hard for me to understand that this is the route that I needed to go to. I felt less of a woman, less of a wife to my husband, and I was just still in shock that I was doing this. And doing so, my husband was like, telling me, honey, this is really hard for you. Why don't I continue doing the search and I'll look into it. So he decided to read their profiles and see what he thought of them, and we chose one. Well, I chose one. It was funny because I was literally choosing somebody like I was actually creating a Barbie doll. It was pretty funny because as you guys know, if you guys follow me in my makeup routines, I have to put on my eyebrows because I don't have eyebrows. So the donor that I wanted to choose was someone that was really tall, Latin. She had beautiful eyebrows, thick hair, really beautiful. And then there was another one that I chose. She was Latin too, but she had beautiful blue eyes. And my husband was laughing at me because he was just like, honey, how can you choose someone that doesn't look similar or someone that could be related to you? And then let's just say we pick it and our son would be like, okay, we don't look alike. So moving forward, it was kind of funny. Moving forward, we actually both agreed on one gal, and we really loved her profile, and we were able to choose either be private, meaning we didn't want her to know who we are. Two, we could have emailed her, we could have talked to her, we could have met her in person. You have two choices, either, or you could have chose one that was already frozen, that she did this process before. So every time an egg donor goes through this process, they don't know how many eggs are gonna be taken out from their uterus. Some of them could produce 15, some of them could produce more. It all depends on the donor. So going through the process, we chose the egg donor, and we actually had to meet with our case manager, and she told us that our egg donor was already going through the process with another couple. And I was so devastated because I was still iffy because I wanted to meet her. I wanted to give her a gift, but I didn't want her to meet me. I just wanted her to give her a note and tell her thank you for doing this. But because she's going through the process with another couple, I was hurt and I was upset, and not knowing that you were able to get still the same egg donor, but her eggs were already frozen from the past. So I asked questions about that, and she said that our case manager, or coordinator, they're called coordinators. They're the ones that set your schedule and see when you're ovulating, when you need to take your medication, when is the actual transfer, all that stuff. It's a long process. And she told us that it would be the same process. The only thing is, it's not a live donor, it's a frozen donor. Or does that make sense? Like, you're not going through the same period cycle like she is. So we did the frozen donor, and which was the egg donor, the egg frozen donor. And so we did that, and then they actually made our appointment to come in. So they had to collect my husband's specimen and the egg donor's egg, and they put it in a little dish, and they wanted to see how many attached to each other to become an embryo. It took about 3 days. They called us and let us know that the one egg and one of my husband's specimen became really strong embryo. And going through the process, it took 2 more days. They asked us to come in that morning to do the transfer into my uterus. So we were very excited. I couldn't wait, and we went in, and we were we were just nervous. I was nervous. I was almost in tears. Like I couldn't believe that it was actually happening. I didn't know what was going to happen in the room. So we went in the room and they have a big screen TV in there, a small little room. And it's kind of like you're doing, not like a pap smear, but you're actually in bed. You have your legs open and the doctor, your IVF doctor comes in, and then the specialist come in that does a transfer into your uterus. So on the tip of the needle, it has a camera, so you could see the whole process through the TV that's in front of you, the monitor, and it literally looks like a cloud when it goes into your uterus. If you blink your eyes, you literally will miss it. But it literally took about not even a minute, and didn't even hurt. You didn't even feel it. It just I was just shocked. Okay, that was it. And then the doctor said I could do whatever I wanted to do, just to take my time. In 2 weeks, they wanted us to do blood work. Doing so, we waited 2 weeks and we did our blood work, and it told us that we were positive, being pregnant. And we were so excited because, well, we were excited because we didn't know if we were pregnant, because the nurse called us and told us. But it was funny because the nurse called us after the 2 weeks, and she's like, I wanted to talk to you about what our test results were, but she puts us on hold because I don't know why she put us on hold. And it was like a long hold for me, but I had her on speaker because my husband and I were together, and we were just anxious, like, okay, are we pregnant? We're not pregnant. Excuse me. And finally, going through that, the nurse was like, I just wanted to say that you guys are proud mama and dada. And we were just like, I think we were just like, did we just hear what we just heard her say? So we were just shocked. We were nervous. We were like, oh my God, we're gonna be parents in 9 months from now. We were just overwhelmed with joy, and we were crying, and we celebrated over lunch, and we were just like so happy, very happy. We were just like, you know, what kind of parents are we gonna be? Are we gonna be fun parents, strict parents? We're just like overwhelmed with joy, and I think we waited about, I think, a couple of weeks to actually tell everybody in our family, because we were just scared because we didn't want to miscarry like we did our first pregnancy naturally. But going through the whole process was overwhelming for us. I did have my struggles during my pregnancy. The first 4 months, it was amazing. I didn't even look like I was pregnant. You could see the glow in my face. You could see the joy in my eyes and my heart, the way I just was around people. And then finally, I left work early, so my 4th month, I decided not to work anymore. So going into my 5th month, I actually started getting difficulties. I had one of the worst peding edemas, which is one of the worst swellingness from my waist down. I couldn't walk. I had to use a wheelchair. I had to use a walker. It was just so overwhelming. The pain was just horrible, very, very hurtful. I literally had to stay bed rest. I did have a lot of complications that I had to have my son early. I had him at 7 months. He just weighed a little under 3 pounds. This is the end of my video. Part 3 will come up. Can't wait to share that with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful and lovely day. Please let me know if you have any questions, any comments below. Please forward this for someone that might be interested in watching this, or maybe someone you know that's going through something like this. Just, there's a lot of hope out there. And please, thank you again for watching. Have a beautiful and lovely day.